Imagine you're watching a movie, one of those gripping thrillers where the villain's sneaky moves flash on screen long before the big plot twist. You see the subtle glances, the whispered phone calls, the sudden cold silences. The signs are there, but somehow the heroine misses them all, blindsided when everything falls apart. That feeling, that shock, the heartbreak, the swirling questions of "how did I not see this coming?" is something so many of us know all too well in real life. Love should feel like a warm sunrise, not a sudden storm you never saw on the horizon. But what if you could become the heroine who notices the warning signs before the storm? What if you had a map to spot the shadows before they cross the line? That's exactly what we're diving into today. Cheating is one of those painful topics nobody wants to face, but so many live through. It shakes our trust, makes us question ourselves, and can leave us feeling lost in a maze of confusing emotions. You might even feel embarrassed, wondering if you weren't enough or if you somehow caused this. But here's the truth we all need to hear loud and clear. You cannot control someone else's choices. If someone cheats, that is on them and them alone. Remember what Socrates said, "The first step toward wisdom is calling things by their right names." Calling out the truth, even when it hurts, gives you power and clarity. So, today, I'm here to help you become that wise heroine. I'm going to share with you 7 clear signs men often give before they cheat. Signs most women miss, but you won't. Think of these signs like little ripples on the water's surface before the waves crash. If you catch them early, you can steer your ship clear or brace yourself with strength. This isn't about making you paranoid or suspicious. It's about giving you eyes wide open so you can protect your heart and your peace. You've got the power to spot these signs and take action before the heartbreak hits. If you haven't already, press that like button and subscribe to the channel, because every week we're serving up wisdom and practical love advice to help you build the relationship and life you deserve. Together, we'll explore the truth, mix a little philosophy with real talk, and add some fun along the way, because love doesn't have to be all serious and heavy. It's a journey, sometimes wild, sometimes messy, but always worth it. Here's a little challenge for you as we get started. I want you to write in the comments a fun affirmation like "I see the signs" or "Heart strong, mind clear." Say it out loud. Show it to the universe and yourself. This is your love story, your power to notice and protect your heart. Stay tuned, because we're about to uncover the 7 signs, and by the end, you'll feel ready to navigate love with wisdom and confidence. Ready to become the heroine of your own story? Let's jump in. Sign 1. He starts picking fights out of nowhere. Picture this. A dark cloud forms quietly over a calm valley, unnoticed at first. The air feels just a bit heavier, the birds stop singing, and then, out of nowhere, the storm bursts, flooding everything in its path. That's exactly what happens when a man suddenly starts picking fights for no clear reason. At first, it might seem random, like he's snapping over a missing sock or a text you sent hours ago that didn't even seem important. But beneath those little explosions lies a storm brewing deep inside him. A storm fueled by discomfort, confusion, and often subconscious guilt. Why does this happen? Well, think of it like this. When someone feels uneasy or guilty about what's going on inside, maybe even about thoughts or actions they haven't fully admitted to themselves, they start making the relationship uncomfortable on purpose. It's like a self-made trap. If the relationship feels painful or tense, it becomes easier for them to pull away, or sadly, to look for comfort somewhere else. This behavior isn't always conscious. Sometimes it's their mind's way of justifying what they're thinking or doing. They throw little punches not at you, but at the trust between you two, trying to shift blame or distract from their own guilt. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that many of the fights and storms we see might be the result of what he calls imagination, the fear, guilt, and stories playing in his head rather than what's truly happening. You might wonder, am I making this bigger than it is? But Seneca reminds us, the battle often rages more inside him than in real life. So what should you do when he suddenly turns into a storm? Don't get dragged into the whirlwind. Stay calm, breathe, and watch closely. Recognize the signs. Then, when the air clears a bit, bring it up gently. Ask questions without anger. You hold the power to calm the storm by not fueling it. Here's your affirmation to say out loud: calm in the storm. Keep that in your heart, because the next sign we're about to uncover, it's all about secrets, and secrets can be even stormier. Stay with me. Sign 2. He gets secretive about his phone. Imagine a locked treasure chest sitting right in front of you. It's old, mysterious, and sealed tight. Naturally, you wonder what's inside. Gold, secrets, maybe something better left unseen. Now replace that chest with his phone. When he suddenly pulls away every time it buzzes, disappearing like a magician performing a vanishing act, it feels just like that chest, full of unknowns and unanswered questions. That's where suspicion quietly creeps in. We've all been there, right? You're chatting, the phone lights up, and poof, he's gone, slipping out of the room like he's hiding something explosive. It's hard not to notice, especially when the same magic trick happens again and again. The problem is, this secrecy creates a shadow in the relationship, and as Carl Jung famously said, what we resist persists. Secrets cast shadows, and shadows hide truths. When he hides his phone or texts, those shadows grow larger and darker, making you question what's really going on. Here's a fun twist to lighten this up. Matt Boggs once shared a story about his own relationship. While cooking dinner with his wife, his phone dinged. Instead of sneaking away, he asked her to read the message out loud, right there in the kitchen. His wife was surprised and laughing because in her past relationships, no guy would ever have been that open. That kind of transparency isn't just refreshing, it's a sign of trust and respect. If he's got nothing to hide, his phone is just a tool, not a secret vault. Trust isn't built on mystery, it's built on openness. If he's hiding his phone, moving it away from your view, or acting jittery when you ask a simple question, take note. That's your red flag waving. It doesn't mean he's definitely cheating, but it means something's off, and you deserve honesty. You deserve to be included in his life, not left guessing. Remember this: trust grows from light, not shadows. So, say this affirmation with me now. Open heart, clear truth. Keep it close, because the next sign is about something even closer. How the connection between you two changes in silence. Stay tuned. Sign 3. Sex life changes or stops. Think of sex like a dance between two people, a beautiful rhythmic connection where both partners move together in harmony. Now imagine the music suddenly stops. At first, you might try to keep dancing, but the silence is impossible to ignore. That silence is what happens when the sex life in a relationship changes or fades away. It's not just about physical touch, it's the sound of emotional connection slowing down or even breaking apart. Plato believed that love is the meeting of two souls, a deep connection beyond the physical. So when intimacy dries up, It's often a sign that something's shifted deeper than just the surface. The dance between hearts is out of sync. You might catch yourself thinking, remember when things were spicy, exciting, full of laughter and closeness? And now, it feels like crickets. That change can sting because intimacy isn't just about sex. It's about feeling wanted, seen, and loved. But here's something really important to remember. Don't blame yourself. Love is a two-player game. It takes both people showing up, listening, and caring. If the dance stops, it's not just your fault, and it's not the end until you both decide it is. Sometimes the music stops because life's stresses, distractions, or unspoken feelings have crept in. Maybe he's tired, distracted, or confused about his own feelings. That's why open, honest conversations about intimacy are so crucial. Instead of jumping to conclusions, try to talk about what's going on, not as an accusation, but as a way to understand each other better. When you create space for honest talks, you invite the music back. It might not sound like a perfect symphony right away, but even the smallest steps can bring rhythm and warmth back into your connection. Remember, Plato's idea of love is not about perfection. It's about growth, connection, and effort. Say this with me: I deserve connection. Let that affirmation remind you that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's choices or moods. The next sign we'll uncover hits even harder when he starts twisting reality and making you question yourself. Stay with me. It's about to get real. Sign 4. He gaslights you. Imagine walking into a funhouse maze filled with mirrors, each one warping your reflection, twisting your image until you don't know what's real anymore. You turn left, then right, but the mirrors keep shifting, making you question if the path you're on even exists. That's what gaslighting feels like in a relationship. It's a confusing, disorienting experience where nothing feels certain and you start doubting your own mind. Simone de Beauvoir, the great philosopher and feminist, warned about the danger of losing oneself. Gaslighting does exactly that. It twists your reality, making you question your feelings, your memories, and even your sanity. It's a sneaky way someone tries to steal your power by convincing you that your perception isn't trustworthy. When he says, you're just imagining things, but your gut screams otherwise, that's gaslighting whispering in your ear, trying to silence your truth. You might find yourself asking, am I really overthinking? Am I too sensitive? But here's the truth. Your feelings are real, your intuition is sharp, and your mind is not broken. When someone tries to flip the script and paint you as the problem, they're trying to protect themselves from accountability. It's a power play disguised as confusion. The most important thing to remember: stand firm in your truth. Your perception matters. You are not crazy, paranoid, or weak. You are brave for trusting yourself. Keep this in mind. Trust your instincts more than his explanations. Sometimes words can be weapons or shields, but your inner voice is a lighthouse guiding you through the storm. Here's a fun tip to keep your power strong. Next time you feel gaslighted, picture yourself holding a mirror up, reflecting the truth back to him, not bending to his distorted reflections. You have the strength to see through the maze and find your way out. Say this affirmation with me: my truth is power. Keep it close, because up next, we're diving into the fog, the mysterious silence and vague stories he tells about where he's been. Ready to shine light on the shadows? Let's go. Sign 5. He's vague about where he's been. Imagine looking through a foggy window on a chilly morning. You want to see the world clearly, every detail, every color, but the glass stays misted over. Now picture that your partner is the one wiping the window with just one hand, never fully clearing the fog for you. That foggy window is what it feels like when he's vague about where he's been. You ask a simple question, hoping for a clear answer, but all you get are blurry shapes and half-told stories. Maybe he says, "I was out with friends," but when you ask for details, the story changes like a detective suspect giving different alibis. One day, it's dinner at a new place. The next, it's just hanging out at a bar. And sometimes, there's no answer at all. That kind of mystery raises alarms because it leaves you in the fog, wondering what's really going on behind that vague curtain. The Stoics remind us, if someone is not truthful with you, the loss is theirs, not yours. This means if he can't or won't be honest, it's his character that suffers, not your worth or value. You deserve clarity, respect, and honesty. Curiosity isn't nosiness. It's a healthy way to care about the people and relationships that matter most. And here's the key. Asking questions doesn't make you controlling. It makes you engaged. But never accept anger or guilt trips for simply wanting to know. If he gets defensive or mad, that's a warning bell ringing loud and clear. Now, here's a playful tip. Approach these conversations like a friendly detective. Think Sherlock Holmes, but with a smile. You're gathering clues, not accusing. Keep it light, keep it curious, and never lose your spark. After all, mystery is part of love's game, but secrecy is a different story. So say this with me: clear eyes, open heart. Let that be your motto when the fog tries to settle in, because coming up next, we'll explore the stories he tells, especially the ones about his past. And trust me, those stories might just be the biggest sign of all. Stay curious. Sign 6. He talks about cheating in the past. Imagine opening a book, one that seems exciting and full of promise. But as you flip through the pages, the author starts dropping hints about the main character's flaws long before the big twists happen. Those early chapters reveal secrets, mistakes, and dark corners of their past, signs of what's really underneath the surface. When a man casually talks about cheating in his past relationships, it's like that book giving you an early peek at his shadows before the plot even thickens. Carl Jung taught us about shadows, the hidden parts of ourselves we try to keep in the dark. Often, people reveal these shadows through stories. When he shares tales about his wild past, cheating, or how he left women hurt, it's not just random nostalgia, it's his shadow slipping out, giving you a glimpse into parts of him he may not have fully changed or owned yet. You might find yourself wondering, is this a warning sign or just a careless story from a different time? Here's where it gets serious. Take those warnings seriously. A wise woman once said, "Actions always speak louder than stories." No matter how charming the stories are, what he does now is what truly matters. But if the stories keep repeating the same patterns, cheating, drama, heartbreak, don't ignore those red flags just because you want to believe in fairy tales. Love isn't about rewriting someone else's past. It's about seeing who they are today and whether they respect the future you want together. It's tempting to hope for change, to think maybe this time it will be different. But wisdom means listening closely to what's being said, not just what you wish to hear. Remember, your heart deserves a partner who honors honesty, respect, and growth, not just entertaining stories. Say this affirmation out loud: I choose truth. Keep it close as a shield against ignoring red flags, because up next, we're tapping into one of your greatest weapons, your intuition. That quiet voice inside you that knows the truth, even when everything else is confusing. Stay sharp. Sign 7. your intuition screams something's off. Think of your intuition as an inner compass, a built-in GPS guiding you through the twists and turns of life and love. Imagine if you had a GPS in your car, but kept it on silent, ignoring the directions because you didn't want to hear the warnings. You might drive into a dead end or take a wrong turn without even realizing it. That's what ignoring your intuition feels like. Missing the signals that could keep you safe and steer you toward what's right. The Stoics had a lot to say about trusting yourself. One wise reminder is, trust yourself. Your soul knows the way. This means deep inside you, beyond the noise of doubt or fear, there's a clear knowing. Your soul, your true self, is quietly whispering truths that your mind might hesitate to accept. That little voice telling you, something's fishy here. It's not paranoia or overthinking. It's your built-in protection system kicking in. It's your mind and heart working together to guard you from harm. You've probably felt it before, that nagging feeling when something just doesn't sit right. Maybe he said one thing but did another. Maybe his behavior felt off, but you couldn't put your finger on why. That's your intuition waving a red flag. It's okay to listen. In fact, it's necessary. You owe it to yourself to have the courage to talk about what you're feeling, to ask the hard questions, or even to walk away if the answers don't feel honest or respectful. Remember, bravery isn't just facing a fight. Sometimes it's having the strength to protect your peace. Here's a fun way to think about it. You are the hero of your own story, and heroes don't ignore their instincts. They trust them like a secret weapon. So next time that inner compass speaks, don't silence it. Let it guide you to love that lifts you up, not pulls you down. Say this affirmation out loud: I trust my compass. Keep it close, because coming next is the final part, how to take all these signs and turn them into your power. Stay tuned. Bonus. Sign 8. How to use these signs to empower yourself. Life is like sailing across an open sea. Sometimes the waters are calm, the sun is shining, and the breeze gently pushes you forward. Other times, dark clouds gather on the horizon, and storms threaten to toss your boat around. The key to a safe journey isn't avoiding the storms. They will come, but spotting them early enough to steer your ship toward calmer waters. That's exactly what these signs are: your early warning system. They give you the chance to navigate wisely, protect your heart, and choose a course that serves you best. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, our choices, and to accept what lies beyond us, like another person's behavior or decisions. Simone de Beauvoir adds a powerful reminder about owning your existence and refusing to lose yourself trying to change someone who isn't willing to change. Together, these philosophies offer you freedom. Control your own ship, but don't waste energy fighting the winds you can't command. Let me share a story. A woman I know noticed small signs early: subtle fights, secretive moments, vague stories. Instead of brushing them aside or blaming herself, she trusted her instincts and set boundaries. She had honest conversations and chose self-love over doubt. In time, she steered away from a painful storm and toward a relationship where trust and respect flowed freely. Her story is proof that awareness and action save us before heartbreak hits. So how can you empower yourself today? Start by journaling your feelings. Writing helps you see patterns clearly. Set boundaries with kindness but firmness, and don't be afraid to have those uncomfortable talks. Most importantly, choose self-love every day. Remember Maya Angelou's words: You alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anyone. That is your power. Your love story is yours to write. Watch for the signs, trust yourself, and never settle for less than you deserve. Say this affirmation now. I steer my life. Keep it close as you sail ahead, because the best love isn't about luck. It's about courage, wisdom, and knowing your worth.